told you guys you're not going to get rid of the reign of rage over WWE. No matter who never you send to stop it. Now what? Congratulations on winning a hell of an epic great women's Money in the Bank ladder match. If you think you'll cash in that briefcase on me, you have another thing to do. In fact, I'm going to make sure you never cash in that briefcase on me.
Earlier tonight, backstage, Ramita brutally bet up on love. Ramita and the Demon Rage is truly ruling WWE. We'll keep you updated on love status.
This is hard for me to say after last week's brutal attack by Ramita. But due to this attack, I have to take some time away to repair this torn ACL she caused. And while I was gonna cash in my Money in the Bank briefcase at Night of Champions against Ramita, where I would have taken that WWE World Happiness Championship and returned it to the Happiness Light side, I'm just gonna have to wait a little bit longer to do this. But the heads of WWE has graciously given me the power to choose Ramita's opponent for Night of Champions, where she will defend her championship at. I have a hard decision to make here, so I will have to do some observation and hard thinking before I make my decision, because so many great women deserve this title shot.
What doesn't kill me makes me stronger.
Warrior!
Love, buddy.
Anna, is that you?
Yes, not so loud enough. If Ramita hears my name, she will know me and Obsy have escaped the Rage comic prison. And Obsy's plan to take out Ramita will be for nothing.
Oh, sorry, Karma. How did you and Obsy escape? And where is she?
It's a long story, love, and I can't explain it here. It's not safe. Let's go somewhere where he's safe. And I'll explain it all. How I and Obsy escaped, where she is, had a plan to take down Ramita.
My name is Hopsy and welcome to the Happiness Fighters Army, where we fight for our happiness, our dreams, our successes against our own version of our own darkness, be mental, physical, life situations, and the big bad world right now. Well, things are definitely heating up as we head towards Night of Champions, especially in taking on my rivals in WWE Skit Series, a skit series that I film, write, edit, produce all by myself. And yes, Love will no longer be facing Ramita at Night of Champions due to Ramita taking her out a couple of weeks ago. So, who will Love get to pick as her replacement to face Ramita at Night of Champions for the World Happiness Championship? Will it be Karma, who's recently just returned from the karmic world and escaped Ramita's karmic prison of rage? You never know, you just have to watch and find out, I say. Now, speaking about taking on my rivals in WWE Skit Series, I have always loved writing. I love writing this skit series, I really do. But before I even started writing this skit series, I actually wrote a novel based on my life, as I came out of my own darkness and turned into a day-by-day fighter for my happiness and my health. And then eventually I would go on to be a happiness fighter, and your happiness fighter army genuine leader. But yeah, I read this back in 2022. It helped me deal with a whole lot of past trauma and mental health issues and everything in between as I was trying to fight for my health again. And I finished it, put it away. I just thought it wasn't good enough. But recently I've revisited it, re-edited it, and actually sent it off to a publisher. I got the courage to send it off to a publisher. That's big for me. And I got a response. And that response is that this publisher that I first sent it off to actually wants to publish this book. And this book is basically about me, but the character's name is Rita Bright, and how she is a 30 plus old woman that's never made it, failed, wants to give up on life, and doesn't think that she's going to escape the Bright family darkness curse, which is basically of bad mental health and physical health. But then after going through her darkest moment in her own version of that, she's like, no, I'm not going to let this rule my life. I'm not going to let this define me. And then she slowly turns into a day-by-day fighter, gets on top of her health, her mental health, and slowly starts to dream and hope again. And finally finds that passion of like, yes, I am going to be the generational person that breaks this family curse. So, yeah, I want to get this published. I really do. But there's one thing stopping me, and that is I need money to get this published, because the publisher that wants to publish it wants to publish it under a hybrid publishing contract, which means I would have to come up with one lump sum of money before I can get this published or even on shelves. And yeah, money is tight right now. You guys know I'm fighting for the Ultimate Dream Championship, which is to meet Becky Lynch at a WWE event. I was hoping it was going to be WWE TakeOver Perth and at Crown Jewel this year, but after looking at the parade passes that came out yesterday, I'm going to have to aim for just getting general tickets now to this, and hoping that Becky Lynch sees this and is like, okay, I'm going to make this dream of this person's come true. But yeah, so money's tight, money's going all towards that at the moment, and I don't have any money to go towards this, which I need 4,700, we'll say 800 just to play it safe, dollars to get this book published. I would love to get this book published and get like tickets to Crown Jewel and Perth TakeOver event in Australia, and actually have a physical copy and hand a physical copy of this book to Becky Lynch, who has inspired me to find my love for writing again, and my happiness and my health. And yeah, but finance is basically stopping that, which is my financial situation in taking on my WWE skit series. So I actually decided to start a GoFundMe page to see if anyone would love to just give me the money so then I can get this book published, so I can have that dream of handing a physical copy to Becky Lynch if she's in Australia at WWE TakeOver, if I get the chance to meet her. So if you want to go donate, you can. I'm not forcing anybody to donate. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just promoting it. And yeah, fingers crossed this happens. Either way, I'm still going to fight for it. And it's more with this book, I don't care about the royalty rights or how much money I make off of it. Money would be nice. It would help go towards future WWE PLEs I want to go to, but that's not it for me. It's more about getting this story out there for other Happiness Fighter Army members like myself that have been broken down by our own darkness of mental health, physical health, life situations, the big bad world, anything and everything in between with their own darkness. And this story could help them not feel so alone. It could even inspire them to fight for their own happiness and their own dreams, like Becky Lynch has done with me. So yeah, if you guys want to donate, you can. I'm not forcing anybody to donate. I'm just putting it out there. I'm promoting it as much as I can. And yeah, fingers crossed, this dream of handing a physical copy of my first ever novel to Becky Lynch at WWE TakeOver Perth later this year hopefully plays out. Now, I know I got a bit sidetracked there. I just wanted to promote that, get that out there. And we are going to focus more back onto Night of Champions now, where we can have King and Queen crownings, a title hand change possibly, maybe, and a good old women's street fight. Oh, cannot wait for that match. And anything and everything in between. So I just want to give you my predictions of what's going to go down at Night of Champions and how it's going to play out. So let's get on with it, shall we? Now, first off, I want to say two things. First off, I would understand if they did not have Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia this year due to what's happening in Israel and Iran with the war at the moment. I would rather WWE put the safety of their superstars over entertainment, and I would have understood if they had to delay it a week, but it looks like they're going ahead. I hope all the WWE superstars feel safe and actually getting the proper security that they deserve while they're over there. Seeing Saudi Arabia is close to Iran or Israel, I can't remember which one at the moment, but yeah, I hope they have a great time over there, stay safe, and come back home safe and sound. Secondly, I am not doing least favourite to most favourite in matches this time because most of the matches are pretty stacked and interesting and I'm enthralled with them in their own way. I'm just going to go through the matches how I remember them at this point. And I'll probably start with King and Queen of the Ring and then move on to the other matches. Just makes more sense in my eyes. And also, I'll do a surprise element roundup if I hadn't mentioned anything that I could see possibly happening at the end. So with that, let's get on with it, shall we? Now we're going to start off with the Queen of the Ring finals match between the Storm, Jade Cargill, and the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. Now this whole tournament with the women to lead up to the finals of the Queen of the Ring has been stacked, brilliant women. I was hoping Charlotte was going to make it to the finals and Nia, because that would have totally worked in my eye. And you could have had Charlotte and Asuka in the semis. But I'm not mad about who is in the finals. Jade Cargill and Asuka. Now, I'm not going a winner because both storylines would work in my eyes. Starting off with Jade Cargill's storyline. Now, if Naomi doesn't cash in tonight in the Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax match, I could see her cashing in at SummerSlam against Tiffany, or say Jade does win and then straight after the match, Naomi cashes in and takes it off of Jade. Something like that. But if Naomi does win, I could still see Jade winning this and then Jade versus Naomi at SummerSlam for that title. You could even put Bianca in this and make it a women's triple threat match when she does return. But yeah, that's that side. Now on the Asuka side, it's simple. It's going to be Io versus Asuka for the Women's World Championship at SummerSlam. I want these two. You could put Asuka as more of the heel and then Io as the babyface. And like Asuka said, there's no more damage control. So why not go after Io, I say. So yeah, either side would work in my eyes. If I had to choose though, I'm rooting more for Asuka. I want to see Asuka versus Io at SummerSlam. But I also want to see Jade versus either Tiffany Stratton or Naomi, whoever's champion by then. So yeah, that's my thought on the Queen of the Ring finals. Now let's move on to the King of the Ring finals between the Viper, Randy Orton, versus Cody Rhodes. I just have to say thank you. In my eyes, it should have been a triple threat, especially with the last semi-finals between Cody and Jay. You could have had them a counter, a double disqualification, something like that, and then it'd be a triple threat. Randy versus Cody versus Jay for the crown and the future title shot at SummerSlam. But I get where they're going with this. And this whole tournament with the men's King of the Ring was stacked. Would have loved to see Bronson Reed become King of the Ring. But I understand where they're going with his storyline. So it wouldn't have made sense. It wouldn't have made sense in the end. But yeah, I am happy with Randy and Cody. Now, I'm not going a particular winner for this. I'm happy either way. If it's Randy, it could be John Cena. If it's Cody, it's going to be John Cena. No brainer. And yeah, I'm here for it. I'm just going to enjoy the King and Queen matches and see who wins and see where it possibly could go. So yeah. Now, while I would have loved Sami Zayn to be in the finals of the King of the Ring tournament, I understand why they didn't put him in there now that he is facing Karrion Kross at Night of Champions. And like I said with the other two, I'm not going a winner for this match. Like, I don't know who to pick. They both work. I am so glad they are finally pushing Karrion Kross more, especially after AOP got let go from the company. I am loving this version of Karrion Kross. I am going to admit it. And a future match that I would love to see is Karrion Kross versus Randy Orton. You think about it. The Killer versus the Legend Killer. That would be epic in my eyes. Now all they have to do is push Scarlett a little bit more to be more of a women's superstar. They could do this at Evolution. Have a storyline or something. I don't know exactly, but they have to get her in WWE Evolution. You could have her become Intercontinental Champion. Maybe she's the one that dethrones Becky. That would be interesting. If not, at least have her have a title shot against Becky for a while. But yeah, I would really like them to push Scarlett more as a individual superstar and have her and Karrion Kross do their separate things, but also be a team as well. Sort of like with Rhea and Priest. Like, you know they're the Terror Twins, but they do their separate things right now. But they can also work together as well. So yeah. If not that, they bring in a mixed tag team title and they win it. But yeah, I'm really loving them pushing Karrion Kross right now, and I'm just loving this version. So yeah. But also I'm rooting for Sami because I know what it's like to be beaten down, taken away from those dream titles, and just having the darkness rule your life. So, and fighting and feeling like getting nowhere. So, yeah, I'm also going Sami in that way. And I hope one day soon he does get that title that he does deserve, and that is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. But for now, I hope he just kicks Karrion Kross's ass. But I'm liking both of them. So I'm not going a winner. I'm not picking a winner. I'm just going to enjoy this match. Now let's move on to the next match, and that is Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa for the United States Championship. And I'm going to say it. Jacob is retaining somehow. I don't know how. But he's retaining that title. He's kicking Solo's butt at the same time. And yeah, this is one of the matches I could see actually playing out and picking an actual winner. And you could have introducing of new Bloodline members. You could have the Tonga Brothers finally come back. I've been missing those two. And have Jacobs back. You could even also put Jimmy Uso in this, which I think this is what's going to happen. Like, Jimmy will have Jacobs back, and JC will have Solos back, and then somehow they both distract each other and then somehow Jacob Fatoy will get the win. Then this will lead to a tag team match at Saturday Night Main Event, where it's Jacob Fatoy and Jimmy Uso versus Solo versus JC. Now we move on to the other women's match of the night between Raquel Rodriguez and fellow Happiness Fight Army member Mami, aka Rhea Bloody Ripley. Now, these two have had history. We know this match is going to be epic, and there's no way Rhea's going to lose this match, even though she's lost to Raquel in the past. In these type of matches, I think this is a match where she redeems herself, and I'm going to predict that there's going to be a table used, like someone's going to either use it or someone's going to go through a table. Roxanne Perez is going to definitely get involved in this match somehow. And Nikki Bella could possibly interfere, like have Rhea's back in this if she's there, which I don't think she is. But that would be an epic surprise. And the result of this match will lead to a match at WWE Women's Evolution between Mami, Rhea Ripley, and Nikki Bella versus Roxanne Perez and Raquel for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Now, I usually don't like people replacing other people as champion in tag team titles, but in this case, I think it really works with the storyline, as now Liv Morgan is out on injury, which if Liv Morgan is watching this, I'm sending all my happiness and my prayers and my positivity energy towards you for a safe and happy and healthy and speedy recovery after your injury on Monday Night Raw 2 weeks ago. And I think the reason why it would work is that you have Roxanne step up, become tag team champions with Raquel. They go into Evolution. This match is made. And then Nikki Bella and Mami have the match. And they use a bit of the old-fashioned twin magic with Brie. And that's how they become new women's tag team champions. And I think this also would play very well into the Judgment Day storyline, with Roxanne and Finn looking to break down Judgment Day. And putting Roxanne in that position of replacing Liv would do that. Especially with Raquel being besties with Liv. She might not like her. You could have a feud sort of thing. And then when they do lose the titles, it breaks down Judgment Day even more. Dom doesn't like this. Raquel doesn't like this. They do their thing. And Finn and Roxanne do their thing. Like, you could have the feud play out at SummerSlam as well. Like, you could have Finn and Roxanne versus Raquel and Dom in a mixed tag match. And whoever wins gets the Judgment Day name. But I feel like the split is coming very, very soon. And this also sets up a great return story for Liv Morgan as well. Because Roxanne on top, she could be a champion at the time Liv returns. And then she gets mysteriously attacked from behind. And it turns out to be Liv Morgan because of what Roxanne has done. Like, she's trying to get on with Dom more. She's made Raquel, her bestie, lose her tag team titles. Sort of thing. Like, the breakdown of all that storyline. And it's going to turn Dom, Raquel, and Liv more babyface when she does return. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be a step in that direction with Raquel in this match. But I'm going Rhea, and I can't wait to see Rhea and Raquel's match. I really love this. And, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Then we move on to the final match I'm going to talk about, and that is the GOAT, John Cena, versus CM Punk for the undisputed WWE Championship. Now, I'm going John Cena. I'm a John Cena girl. I hate CM Punk. So, it's an easy pick for me. I'm going John Cena. He's going to win this match. And I'm gonna say it, someone's gonna get involved in this match, and that's how John's gonna win. If CM Punk wins this title, I will be screaming my head off with anger. I don't think CM Punk deserves to have a championship in WWE. I get where they're going with the storyline, but just in my eyes, I don't think he deserves it. He's just there for the money and the attention in my eyes. I'm like fellow Happiness Fighter Army member Seth frickin' Rollins when it comes to CM Punk. I just do not like him. But this is where it gets interesting. Because Seth could travel to Saudi Arabia and could actually cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase on CM Punk if he is champion for a few seconds and then win that title. That would be interesting. If that's a thing that I can see happening. Then it could set up Seth Rollins versus John Cena for the title because John wants it back. I think the person that's actually going to dethrone John Cena and take the title off of him has to be Ron Killings. I really want Ron Killings to take that title off of John Cena. He doesn't have to have it for long, like it could be a month or something, but I think he deserves to have that title. And I'm hoping Ron is the one that actually interrupts in this match and makes sure that Cena keeps that title. And then it could set up for the Saturday Night Main Event, Ron Killings versus John Cena for the Undisputed WWE Championship. And then he loses it then, and then that sets up a whole storyline for SummerSlam where the final boss, The Rock, comes back and he's just like, you sold your soul to me. You let me down. I don't like this. And then this is where John slowly turns back to a more neutral version of John Cena, the John Cena that we all love and respect. And yeah, my prediction for this match is that John Cena is going to keep it either because of Seth frickin' Rollins cashing it in, or a fake cash in, or because of Ron Killings, aka R-Truth, coming out and just bashing John Cena. So yeah, that's my predictions for Night of Champions. Now, any surprise elements? I don't really see any surprise elements for this. The only surprise element, which most Aussies know by now, is that the announcement of WWE TakeOver Perth and Crown Jewel Priority Pass announcement being made, maybe even when tickets go on sale. But I don't really see any surprise elements with this. It's all played out. It's all set in stone, I say. But no, WWE will surprise me. So yeah, they're all my predictions for Night of Champions. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win what match, and who you want to see win what match as well. What do you think is going to go down at Night of Champions? But yeah. So I hope you guys are having a nice, warm, happy day. And if not, I'm sending nice, warm, happy, joyful hugs your way.